Hello everyone, welcome back to our course on visual programming, and we are continuing from our previous session where we studied if clauses with ternary operator we saw first, and then we moved on to if clauses in our control structure selection structures. And we saw simple if else, and if else if, as well as nested if. In this movie we will see how we can use a switch statement, which is another control structure for selections used in Visual C# language, and it is also similar to our Java syntax for switch statements. Here the switch statement provides the users multiple selection to perform different actions based on the possible values of an expression. So it helps us perform various actions based on the values that we mention in the expression or comparison expression. Each action is associated with the value of a constant integral expression or a constant string expression that the variable or expression on which the switch is based may assume. So which means we can use integral expressions or constant expressions. Integral, in a sense, it includes all integer type values plus character data type, because character is also results in char data type, that is character data type. It results in integer value behind it, as well as string values it supports. In addition to that, it supports boolean values as well. In the case of switch statement in C#, especially in C#, it supports string and integral values, as well as boolean values, as well as char data type it supports. Constant string expression is any expression composed of string literals that always results in the same string. So it means we can provide literals that are string to result in another string value. And the last point is a switch statement compares one variable against multiple possible values. This is what switch is used for. We can compare a single variable with multiple possibilities. The syntax of the switch statement is shown here. Switch, and it tests the variable. The variable to be tested is given here, and this variable should have been declared in advance and assigned a value earlier than the early outside the switch statement. And then it starts with case and case 1, case 2, case 3. It can go up to any cases, and each case should be separated by a break statement. If you don't use this break statement, it falls through, right? It falls through the end, right? And once you have finished your comparison operations, you can come out with a default keyword mentioning what to do if these case statements do not match the criteria, right? So the syntax starts with a switch, and then within break a test variable goes, and curly brace starts, and the curly brace ends here, and the entire code within this statement will be governed by these switch statement. So it comes with the keyword case, and the value to be compared is given, and you see a colon, right? A colon is there, and the statements are separated by statement line separators, right? You have to make sure that there are semicolons added at the end of each statement to separate them from the previous line or next lines. So this is the syntax for the switch statement. You can see here the supported data types are bool, char, string, integral data types like int, long, like that. You can see an enum means enumerators. We will see in another section what enumerators are, right? So this is a flowchart, functional flowchart statement showing the switch statements. You can see here month is the variable to be compared, so we will take month and compare with different possible values entered, and at the end we will see what to do if it doesn't match the comparison. So here if it is first option, display January; if it is second option, display February; if it is third option, display March; otherwise display invalid month. So it is reflected here, the first is reflected here, second one is reflected by this second case, and third one is reflected by this third case, and the default case is reflected by these end, right? So this is how it is represented in implemented in switch statement. So variable name goes here, case 1, if the person enters 1, so it's going to display a message January. If he or she enters 2, it's going to show February in the message box. If he enters 3, it's going to display March in the in the message box. Otherwise, if he does not enter either 1, 2 or 3, the message box will be displaying with the text invalid month entered, right? Invalid error, invalid month entered. Okay, we will see a real example in C# how it's implemented. Here we have two text boxes. One is to enter the value and the other one is to display the results, and the first text box is value text box. This is the value text box, and the results text box is here, right? This is results text box. So what we are going to check is we are expecting a value, we are entering a value, and we are going to treat it as string. You have to note here it is treated as the value entered, although it is looking like a number, it is a number. Actually it is a number 2, and here you see number 5, but we are treating it as a string. That's why we have mentioned as within double quotes. You can just leave, if you treat it as int entered value, you don't have to have the double quotes here, right? You can treat it directly as number. So it is expecting a string entered value and a string message. We are allocating another variable to hold the message. Entered value is equal to value text box dot text. So we are just assigning here. It is expecting a string value. So text property of the text box will be having a string value, so that we are directly assigning it. Otherwise, what we will do is if we have declared it as int, we will put here int dot pass, and within bracket we will get this, right? Int dot pass, so that we will convert the variable into a int data type and assign it. And message is given an assignment. It is assigned a blank text here. Now we are coming to switch statement. Switch entered value, this value this value we are comparing case 1, and we are going to display. You have won a laptop. Case 2, we have won a desktop PC. Case 3, you have won a PDA. Otherwise wrong input, better luck next time, right? After we are assigning a message according to the input made, we are going to display the text outside this switch statement, right? Outside this switch statement we are going to display the text. Fine, I'm undoing this, right? Here, from this text, from this block, right? Otherwise we have to assign it every time we are assigning the value. That is also possible, but it is ambiguous, right? It makes your life difficult. And next we have another example. Here we are getting it as byte. The smallest the int data type byte is going to be a month, so we are directly assigning 0 for the first time, and then we are using the converter class is 2-byte method to convert it to byte. This is another way to convert the data type, a numeric data type string value into numeric data type. So here we are using convert class. It has 2-byte, 2 int, 2 long, 2 double, like the different methods it has. So we are using convert 2-byte because the variable is of byte data type. We are using 2-byte. So month text box is here, month text box is here, and we are going to compare 12 options for each months, 1 through 12. We are going to say if it is 1 January, if it is 2 February, You can see here I have for the purpose of conserving the space, I have given them in a single line. You can have it them in multiple lines. Okay, so here we are assigning the values after we finalize the results. So these are the two examples we have, and we will see how we can implement this in a C# in another video. So please stay tuned. Until then, goodbye. Thanks.